Hello. Oh my gosh. So excited to be back and recording. Today, we're going to be talking through the latest update to Google reviews and their do's and don'ts. They seem to be like changing the rules on us all the time.
The never-ending drama.
Now they're just like suspicious of all things, all patterns, anything they detect in your review. They're like, what is that? Why did they say that? What's going on?
Exactly. For most of us, it kind of feels like you're dealing with your unhinged ex. And I think we can all relate to that to some extent. And we're going to talk today about what it all means and how you wrangle this kind of changing target that we're all chasing.
Welcome to Trade Secrets, where we demystify digital marketing to help contractors get the most bang for their marketing bucks.
This is for you if you're a contractor looking for actionable marketing insights.
Learn from home services industry experts to elevate your business through simplified marketing strategies.
Let's dive into today's trade secret.
Okay, so in May there was another core update to Google, and inside of that they updated their rating manipulation policy, which is just their AI that detects patterns within a review to determine if it's authentic or not. And for the most part, all of our contractors, like nobody uses like a script or has a customer like fill out a script. Maybe companies do have that. I mean, we have Nice Job where it sends out the text that's like, hey, how'd we do? Please, share your story with X company. And I know we've really like leaned into telling our customers to, like, when they ask for reviews, to ask for storytelling, not just the 5-star review. But anyways.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's that common. And I don't, even when I'm out in the wild in my own life doing research, I don't typically find that. Some of it's probably because Google's kicked it out, but I think it's so hard to get a review as a business owner already to have the gall to not only ask for it, but then be like, here's exactly what I want you to say. I don't think obviously it's a big enough problem that Google's trying to crack down on it, but if you're listening and you have been doing that, it's time to stop. If you haven't, you're already not breaking this rule.
Yeah. So, I mean, basically the shift was in Google's AI and the specific patterns it's trying to detect within reviews. So we'll talk today about kind of what some of those patterns are so that you can protect yourself. But I think for the most part, unless you're purchasing reviews in bulk, or, spammers are in there trying to attack profiles, which we saw a lot of at the beginning of the second quarter, Google has seen those because they were all flagged, gratefully. So this really helps protect business owners, but it does kind of come across as, just like
unhinged. Like the rules keep changing. So now I'm supposed to do this, now I'm supposed to do that. And the average contractor just knows they need to get some steady reviews to appease the Google gods, and they just want to go on about their day and do their job. And we know as the agency, when we're constantly being like, when we meet again at their quarterly, and we're like, guess what, guys? Here's another new rule. They're like rolling their eyes at us.
like, so have them tell a story. We need 1 or 2 photos uploaded, because that was a thing in was that March's update, where it changed the weight of reviews that have user generated content, or UGC, which means they upload an image to your Google business profile, like with their review, or just to your Google business profile, that had an impact on your business ranking in the local 3-pack. But give us your firstborn a kidney, a long review, name the service area, the work performed, a technician, but don't do that in a pattern now. Now we're saying to go take it easy. Take it easy. 70% of your reviews if they have someone named, now we're going to freak out a bit. Now we're starting to look for a pattern, which is crazy. Now they're saying like the safety zone of a person named in your reviews is between 30 to 40%. And that's just crazy to me. I mean, I get looking for a pattern. Like, if you can detect a pattern and it's like Amanda Joyce at Elevation Marketing performed great paid media services. Like, if you can, I guess I get those kind of patterns. But if you're like naturally and organically mentioning someone, I say it shouldn't be an issue. But I guess I would say when you look at your own reviews and all of a sudden Google starts like taking your reviews down and you have no idea why, maybe that's something to look at, Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the change. Google's AI is just looking for patterns inside of your reviews, and there's a few big triggers that are red flags to Google's AI detection filter. So some of those, I guess, risky review behaviors is one of those is review surges. So you get like 45 reviews in 30 days when you've only been getting, 3 a week for the past 9 months. So these review surges, this looks at patterns between 30 to 60 days and what's shifted for your company. It's not necessarily a bad thing. If you all of a sudden do like a review campaign, for example, like that's natural. So, however, you're going to have, you could have reviews held when they see that surge when you've had like nothing. And then all of a sudden you get, 45, 50, 60 reviews after having months and months.
Yeah. It seems like they're going to look at them, they're going to scrutinize. But then if they all look authentic and they're not all just naming the same crew and, it doesn't appear as if you were really prodding them to do it, those are likely to eventually make it on your profile. But don't be surprised if it's a slow grow. We used to always be able to say, as long as it includes a photo, it's going to get passed. And now, again, this X is being a little crazy. So they're changing some rules out on us and continuing to keep us on our toes. But don't get overwhelmed by this. That's why we're here. The whole point of this entire episode today is kind of give you guys the state of what's changed, what hasn't. At the end of the day, all of this is just intended to drive authenticity and make sure that you're continuing to prioritize reviews from true customers, which most businesses are doing. So it's really only intended to catch a few of the bad apples, but most people, I don't believe, are behaving this way, partly because it doesn't work.
Yeah. And then, and I guess this kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier with like risky review behavior. You and I both in our own feeds, and it's probably our own algorithm, but who knows what everyone else is seeing. We see a lot of talking heads that are like, don't mention anyone. Don't mention a human in your review name. Do not say it. Like Google's going to penalize you. You're going to lose everything if somebody mentions a name in your Google reviews. Like, don't do it. And it caught my attention. I was like,
yeah,
shit, is that true? No, it is not true. It is not true. If you have a pattern and it's like insert name performed this service in this place, and there's this pattern that Google's AI detects, then yeah, you could be in trouble. But if it's authentic, just calm down. It's going to be all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every favorite phrase.
Yeah. And we do have a lot of clients that have like just standout stars, whether it's somebody who answers the phone every time with just such a warm welcome, or some awesome member of a crew that just kills it, and that's naturally always been existing in their reviews. Google loves that, and they know it's real. Like it's smart enough. So again, if you're seeing that in your feed, don't freak out and think you need to like be stressed out about those hard-earned 300 reviews that list your 5 favorite employees. They're good, but just watch it moving forward.
Yeah. And then the other thing, which sounds a lot like the first one, so review surges, look out for those. The other thing is review clusters. So this is crazy. This is to target what they think is a technician standing at the door of a homeowner asking for a review. And then, I don't know, having like all your technicians do that at the exact same time of day. So all of a sudden within minutes, your business is getting, 5 reviews in a day and then silence for 6 days, and then 5 reviews in a day and then silence. That pattern is okay in terms of review velocity, but clustering with the time of day indicates to Google a pressured, incentivized review with your tech standing at the door. And even worse, if you're a company who tries to take the pain point of a homeowner like logging into their profile to then leave you a review, instead you just give them your tablet so they can leave a review for your company right then. Google is looking at the cell tower in which the reviews have been pinged off. That's all part of it too, looking for those patterns. So there's more to the pattern besides like the phrasing inside of the review. They're looking at an IP, a cell phone tower ping, like which profile, like it's which device was used to leave the review. So Google just wants it to be the most authentic review possible, and anything that looks incentivized or cherry picking, like you're not asking everyone for a review, just the happy customers. If it looks like you're having your technicians go door to door and homeowners feel a pressure to leave a review, Google has like, this is how they've determined they can pick up on a technician like standing in front of the homeowner and not leaving until they get a review from you. So look out for those. for review clustering. That is another thing that the Google's AI, another pattern that their AI is detecting, looking for. And then the last one is, well, and this kind of goes with one and two, but it's just the templated review language, which, I don't, only spammers do that, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe some big businesses do. Like if you have a huge franchise and you've got multiple locations across multiple states and you're trying to have uniform process and policy, maybe you have something like that. But even then, I don't know. I'm with you, Amanda. I haven't seen that even in the wild, like when I'm looking at businesses, going through that. So
yeah. And I was going to say too, on the review clustering, over the years, we've talked to a lot of our different clients about, a lot of them are frustrated where they know they've got all these happy customers and they talk to their sales team all the time in their sales meetings. Like, why are we not like closing the loop on a lot of these reviews? And so just keep that in mind too. If you're having those conversations with your team, like maybe if you're asking them to follow up with some of the people that are raving fans but are just busy, maybe you even have Nice Job in place, they've been texted and emailed but they're not replying. Maybe you are saying reach out. Just make sure they don't sit down and do a blitz on Monday morning as a team and do it. So that's another one. We were chatting with one of our favorite customers the other day and I was like, we used to tell you like Monday morning, roll in, get some coffee and call everyone. Now we're like, maybe do it every other day and call one customer that just you've fallen off their radar. So just add that to your list of things to do as a company owner. Yeah. But if you're going to work that hard to get the reviews, the last thing we want to see is any of them get rejected or not published to your profile.
Yeah. And then just to add to that, I mean, it is truly a normal pace of reviews and then really lengthy reviews that tell stories instead of just 5 stars, so we can't control what customers leave, but when you're reaching out authentically, they typically will and they can tell it's not a generated response, an automated email or text message, and you're working to get reviews and you're doing, as Amanda said, just kind of reaching out personally a couple times a week, then that's all you can do, because reviews are just more and more important in terms of having visibility in those generative AI engines, but also inside of, or for answer engines and generative engines, you want to be recommended, and so you need reviews to be recommended inside of AI and to be on top in that local 3-pack where all the transactions happen. And reviews, I swear, every time there's an update, they carry more and more weight in terms of your organic visibility. So reviews are not going away. It's something you're going to have to continue working on. But now that we've freaked you out about all the ways that you can get flagged by Google, let's freak you out even more and continue talking about the consequences of any suspected manipulated reviews. So and a lot of you guys have seen this mass review deletion, even if they're authentic reviews. We had a client back in November. They had 30 reviews deleted in a month, and it really was, and that one was crazy, because then we authenticated the clients inside the CRM, and there was no rhyme or reason to the ones that got removed. Some of them were just 5-star ratings. Some of them did tell a whole story. We went back and looked at them again, and there was no pattern. It was just
it was a weird portion. I mean, they had years of reviews. It was kind of a clustered area of time that they deleted them from too. And one thing, hot tip for you, whether you're working with an agency or you manage your own GBP, on a monthly basis, we go in and just copy all of our reviews for all of our clients and save them, because that saved us when we needed to go do all those disputes. We were able to, we knew the name, we knew the date that it had come in, we knew the text of the review. So we were actually able to get a lot further with the disputes, and we got 5 of them back, which was still not as many as we were hoping for. But if you don't have that record and they get deleted, you don't really have any recourse. But It's pretty frustrating when you can't go back and look at it and say, I could tie this person to my CRM. I know we did a killer job for them. They were a truly happy customer. But unfortunately, Google's being crazy, and they make the rules, and we just have to abide by them.
Yeah, it was bad. And then that tanked their local 3-pack rankings. It was brutal. Okay, so massive loss of reviews. Another consequence is that you may lose I don't want to say the right, but they'll take away the ability for your profile to receive any new reviews. That's a potential consequence too, if you get flagged for, spam or fake reviews, inauthentic reviews, which is horrifying. So not only can you lose reviews, you can lose the ability to gain new reviews. And then this last consequences, I feel like it would have to be pretty bad to get this, but they'll issue a public trust warning banner on your Google business profile if you are found to have violated their review policy.
So slapping a scarlet letter on your profile. It's crazy.
Yeah. one of those like Facebook groups that has like don't date this person and everyone knows you're crazy. Like that's Facebook's putting that on your profile.
No one wants that.
Nobody wants that. Okay, now how to avoid all of this mess. I mean, don't try to game the system. It's easy enough. Like that's number one. But really build a review habit, something that consistently goes out, a consistent, reaching out to people consistently, asking for reviews from everybody. I mean, and that's another thing. If you're only getting all 5-star reviews, it sounds amazing and you want positive customer sentiment, but now it's almost like, is anyone really that happy all the time? Are you gating who you're asking for reviews from? Like it's crazy. And also like that does go back to me, like if somebody had a bad experience with you, there's a couple things. Yeah, they might lower your star rating, but typically they leave a really long story of a review and sometimes add photos. So, getting a little user-generated content on your profile isn't bad. But how you handle it as a business, to me, that matters more. After we did an episode like a year ago on like a remodel nightmare. Had I looked at the responses to the reviews, like I would have known how that business handles things when they go south. This is a great way to shine. Everyone knows it's construction and things are going to go wrong, but how do you handle it as a business? So I don't know who needs to hear this, but hear it now. Stop only sending your review requests to happy customers. Send them to everybody. Google's will paste their Google's review policy in the episode notes. Like it's pretty crazy. Like it's pretty intense. So you definitely don't want to get caught for violating any of the review policies.
Yeah, and if you have a script, throw it out. You probably don't, but if you do, get rid of it. If you ever hear somebody starting to throw that out like a good fresh idea, cut it off. It's not a good idea. And then make sure your customers are adding photos. That's really not that bad.
It's really not that bad. And that's after begging them to leave the review and you send 15 text messages, 4 follow-up emails, you DM them on Instagram. You wonder why they're not responding.
Text me back.
That's crazy. So to sum it up, don't freak out if your Google reviews do mention someone by name. There's a safety zone, and if they're mentioned authentically, you're going to be fine. If there's no other pattern detected within your existing reviews, you're going to be fine. We just wanted to add some color to that noise around, oh my gosh, don't let them name a human in your reviews. It's
not true.
It's not true. It's just don't have a script that says insert technician name, insert scope of work, insert city name in your review, and you're going to be fine. It's not that deep.
All right. Well, hopefully you guys found this helpful today. If you know somebody who's struggling with their GBP or really trying to grow their review program, please share this with them. It's our goal here to just educate you guys and help you get the most out of all your marketing efforts.
Yeah. I was going to think of something quirky and quippy to say about 5-star reviews, leaving a 5-star review. But
could you go to our GBP right now and leave us a 5-star review, but don't mention our names? Thanks.
Yeah. Listen to the podcast episode. Loved it. Anyways, don't do that. Oh my God, don't do that. All right. Well, that's it. We'll see you next time.
That was today's trade secret. Thanks for listening.
Did you find this helpful? We're just getting started.
Subscribe and don't miss our next reveal.
Until next time.